In a world where our friends call us not us united and our enemies call us midnight rain, two dudes must learn to podcast as the Fremen do in order to survive the desert planet of endless content. We don't care how many enemies we have. They'll never be prepared for us. Not us united.
Anyways, that's how I got fired from laser tag twice.
Nice. Perfect.
You said you wanted stupid intros, and
I do, yeah.
By golly, you're gonna get them if we are in the same room together.
Gosh, I just want to know what people are thinking right now. I'll tell you what they are thinking. They're thinking, I chose the podcast Not Us United to listen to this week, which means they know already who we are.
Yeah.
Or they don't know who we are,
and
that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I do my own transitions. Let's get it. Welcome to Not Us United, everybody. We're a podcast that exists to see cinema a little bit differently. We find the good, the bad, the crazy. You know, just two dudes talking about movies. What?
I don't know. It's just so funny. You're just like, you just ran out.
You were supposed to be my hype man.
Oh, sorry. That was incredible. It's like you're the Speed Force and I'm the Flash and I'm running through it and you're like, there's two Flash in this movie.
You're bringing a lot of negative energy into my home, the place where I find peace.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you invited me over here.
Let me just cleanse myself really quick. All right. I'm ready to talk about this epic movie. Are you?
We're going to see cinema a little differently today.
Yes, we are. We are talking about the highly talked about. I mean, this might be maybe the most popular movie to come out in 2023.
Sure.
To some.
Bearing maybe like 5 other movies, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's this movie. Okay, Not Us United. The two of us, we're planners, okay? We like to get things on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And this was one of those weeks where the thing we had on the calendar didn't get on the calendar. So we pivoted.
Pivoted on Monday. The plan was figured out on Monday.
That's right. And we did. And we killed it.
Yeah.
And we decided to land on this movie that is now streaming on Peacock at the time of this recording. It literally came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago in theaters.
Yeah.
Or like maybe a month ago.
Maybe beginning of January-ish?
But it is M3gan, also known as
M3gan.
M3gan. Yes, because there is a 3 for the E.
Yeah.
So if you search for this movie,
I'm very upset because of that. Because I tried to look up M3gan on IMDb and I'm like, where is this movie?
Where is this movie?
But I'm like, wait, no,
it's
is it
M3gan.
really M3gan? And I'm like,
it is M3gan.
That soured me.
Well, we'll see how you feel about the actual film.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
This was one of those memeable trailers that we saw maybe before Violent Night.
Yeah, it was.
About a rogue AI child-sized doll.
Yes. That
maybe has a little malfunction.
Oh, good word.
A M3gan function.
Oh, dang it.
Malforgan.
Malforgan.
And let's just say she pops off.
Yeah, in a sense. She pops something off.
It looks like it's kind of like supposed to be one part Chucky, kind of playing off that, but one part maybe like Annabelle.
Kinda. Yeah.
I don't know.
But also like a part of it maybe like what was that movie with Oscar Isaac and Domhnall Gleeson? Deus Ex Machina.
Yes.
Yeah, Deus Ex Machina. Like, it feels kind of like that where it's like, oh, robots, but what if they were, like,
somewhat
alive?
sentient or, like, getting to figure out what their purpose was.
Yeah.
And, yeah, the reason it was memeable is because while M3gan is hacking and slashing her way through some of these folks in the trailer, she repeatedly, like, has dance moves and is kind of, like, eerily, like, kind of, you know, vibing the whole time. She was just living her best life.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just like, one part of me wants to laugh, one part of me is absolutely terrified. And I think this movie wants to live somewhere in between that.
Mm-hmm.
While also asking maybe some deeper questions, like what does it look like to parent, and can AI change that for us?
Yeah.
It's a wild movie.
It's that was a road that I wasn't expecting to go on.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely thought, I was like, oh, it's an hour 40. Sounds good. We're setting up robot for 20 minutes, and then she's just going to hack and slash for 60. Let's get it.
Yep.
And then, no, it was also just kind of tackling some interesting, like, grief and other topics.
And to be fair, I thought that was the most enjoyable part of the movie.
It actually was kind of good. Like, there's actually some good performances in this movie. But, yeah, I don't know how much...
Quick non-spoilery. Like, you pretty much did the synopsis of the film.
Sure.
AI, but spooky?
Question mark? Oh, dang it. Man, we're on. I don't know what we're on, but we're on it.
We're on Meg 3.
We're on tightrope.
Yeah.
Greatest Showman.
Do you have you heard of like the Chat GPT, all that stuff?
No.
Oh. Really?
What are you saying?
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, okay. So there's like this AI online right now. And
okay.
It like can do anything. Questions. It will do anything. And, like, you can, like, say, oh, like, write me a book about foxes or something. And it'll write you, like, something about foxes, which is mostly, it's pretty good. So, like, there's a lot of, like, controversy in that, like, professors have done it where they had, like, somebody submit a Chat GPT paper and it got a B.
Wow.
And so it's like, how do you... market, how do you fight?
Yeah,
how do you like just not have like people just put in chat GPT, write me a paper, and you get a B and you're fine,
Yeah.
And like so like that brought me. I came in with this to the movie, and I'm like kind of like a little concerned about like my future as a human being.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because there's this level of people ultimately will take the path of least resistance. Mm-hmm. And technology has helped in numerous ways positively, but it has also hurt us in a lot of ways because we can do so much so fast. And like before, like our entire purpose was like, hey, maybe make like a fire and kill like one animal. And that was it. It's like, that's a good day. That used to be human life. Like, and now we're like, productivity through the roof. And in certain like cultures, like wanting something that can free your time as much as possible seems very enticing.
Right.
And that's kind of where we're headed.
Yeah.
That could inevitably create Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, and that's what kind of this movie tackles in a sense.
Yes.
And so like, yeah, I've been just thinking about that a lot. So maybe I'm going to rant about this for just a hot second.
Oh, Michael ranting? What a rarity. Please continue.
Yeah, it's just like, it is just weird, like the technological advancement of everything. Like, okay, we have the internet, and that's incredible, and that's like so much knowledge and so much
podcasts.
So much, yeah. You can find one great podcast on there
on any of the listening sites.
Yeah, Spotify, other listening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Anchor.
Well played. Yep.
Anchor is cool.
I think you just made us $10. Good job. Good work.
And so it feels like that, but that's just so like out there in the ether of like, okay, I can look up, wow, who was the first person to climb Mount Everest? Now I have that knowledge. But like ChatGPT is like, oh, I'm replaceable,
Okay, let's see. Yeah, like how much effort would it have taken you to write that paper? It would have taken multiple days, research and all this, but this thing could do it instantaneously. Yes. Right, but you're not going this ChatGPT.
I don't know what it stands for.
ChatGPT, got it. Isn't going to work your job though. So like
right,
technically,
general,
yes,
but like,
I see what you're saying.
I feel like at this point, I don't know why ChatGPT. At this point, I'm like, oh, we've created something that is better than us. Like at some point, and this is just to be like the beginning of it. Like at some point,
production wise,
yes. yeah, production wise, and like at a point where it's like this can do a certain job better than any other
close
human,
to the Matrix,
And I'm just like, whoa, that kind of freaks me out.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, like, I don't know.
Are you worried that I disagree with you? You're like, dude, look at me in the eye. This is scary.
Nick, right? No, I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel like the time to talk about it.
No, 100%. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm just...
This is my counseling session, I guess.
I just didn't want to, like, interrupt. So I'm not like...
You're like, you're an idiot. No.
No.
It's just weird, man. It's just like... And so, I guess the reason I bring this up, I don't know why, but the reason is, I don't know, coming into the movie of like, okay, well, having that thought in my head of, okay, well, if you build a robot that is better and can take care of a child,
Yes.
better or equal to a human being.
Yeah, I think the question Megan asks, though, is just relieving you of instructional, like, productive things about parenting, like telling your kid what to do, here's the rules, blah, blah, blah. If you could just have something that has a voice box say that to your kid instead of you, isn't that freeing the parent up?
Sure.
You know, and isn't that worth it? Isn't that valuable? But what it doesn't replace is, like forgiveness. It doesn't, you know, it sees protect your child at a different level. Like, it can't compute, like, intuition and common sense and social things. But yeah, it seems to teeter close enough that, like, I could see why some people would say this is worth it, because at least throughout the day that I work at home, I don't have to have X number of conversations that were repeatable. Like, I just got to free up, like, telling them to brush their teeth 10 times or whatever.
But, I mean, I think to the point, and maybe, I don't know if we want to go into spoilers quite yet, but, like, the idea of, like, oh, you know, you as a parent want to do those things.
Sure.
And, like, that's the whole point of being a parent. And, like, that's the beauty of, like, I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks.
Sometimes, yeah.
But, like, you're building this relationship with your child, and that's what grows the foundation. And if you throw it off on a robot, that just complicates the relationship. But then, like, this robot can now do this thing. Where do we draw the line of we're gonna invent something and not use it?
Yeah.
Like, that's impossible.
Yeah, because, I mean, no matter how many good things come from whatever we're doing, there will always be a negative way to use that said thing. So, like, there will probably be, like, a robot that can, like, do surgery more precisely than a human being can. And we'll be like, we need that. Okay, well, now this one can, like, flip burgers for us. And this one can drive semis. And this one, and, like, it can just keep going down the line where it's like, at what point is, like, safety and productivity worth, like, not having humans even do things?
Well, even that point of, like, people losing jobs,
right?
Too.
True.
You know, it's like, and there's a point where, like, we reviewed Mickey 7 recently, and a lot of other, like, future sci-fi stuff have, like, this perfect word where, like, we've invented enough where people don't necessarily have to work.
Yeah.
And they get, like, a state stipend, and they could work if you wanted to. But the middle ground between that and where we are now is so difficult.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost insurmountable gap. I mean, like, I could be talking out of my butt, but, you know, what is this podcast
what is
for?
Not Us United? Yeah,
but, like, that gap is just so difficult to be like, okay, well, we invented a basically a nanny robot. Well, then we invented the flipping burger robot. But then all the people who worked at McDonald's now lost their job.
Yep.
And they can't.
And now the flipping robot's like, I think I can do more than flip robots.
And then he kills
and he starts flipping
the manager.
people. Then we're in over our heads. Yeah.
The world is flipped.
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Anyways.
And it's like, and I mean, I think we could probably just talk about it for forever because it's all hypothetical.
Right.
But one thing I will say that, like, America is not great at, but will do eventually, is that, like, we'll always swing one direction really hard for a while, and then we're like, yikes, went too extreme, and then we, like, start to bring it back. I think the question is, if we swing too far in this direction, is it reversible to actually come back?
Mm-hmm.
And that I don't have the answer for.
Got it.
But I do think we always like create too much of a monster on one side that we have to create the next monster on the other side, and then we come back and forth and back and forth. And there's like those times in between are really great because it's like, hey, we're kind of figuring it out. And we're like, yeah, we are, but there's still evil people in the world, so it's gonna get tilted a little bit further.
Sure.
And so that would be my commentary on that.
I agree. I'm like, it's all gonna be fine.
Yeah, I mean, you can always come to my basement. It'll be
Yeah.
fine. We'll be safe.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know why I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question because the depth that I didn't think this movie would have was in it.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't know if it worked better than I thought or worse, because I almost was like, you're trying to make this like funny horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Did you need to also ask like an actual deep question here?
Was it supposed to be? Well, I guess it was supposed to be a funny horror movie.
I mean, I think M3gan was meant to be kind of comical. Like, some of her kills were very like, I mean, it's like an American Girl doll kicking your ass. It's hilarious.
And the start of this movie, like, there's that infomercial.
Right,
like, and
yeah.
that's funny. I liked that a lot.
But it's also like, there's a subplot there that's talking about like our nation is trying to get kids in front of something that isn't their parents, so it can free their parents up a little bit. And I think that is like, I see that. I get that. There's like the screen time conversation that happens in the movie, because that's like having a relationship with a robot too. It's like, if you got to be careful, you don't know what that is going towards. So there's like some good stuff there. And you see that the companies that are involved are ultimately like, that's their data, is like, how much are they spending time with it? Is it simple enough to sell a bunch of? Is it like, they don't care if it's nurturing or helping the kid. They care about sales or sales. And so that will inevitably create the monster, if that's the point, is like, here's how much money we can make, not here's all the kids we could positively infect.
Yeah.
Or affect.
Infect. Nice. Got him. And I don't know if I liked that because I didn't expect it, or they did it well. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
and
just surprising.
Yeah, I'm not saying they did it poorly either. I just think, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting take, and I like that.
Yeah, that wasn't included in the trailer of like, hey, you should try to be a mom, not like...
I was like, what about this girl murdering people?
You're right.
Yeah. And I'm like, cool, got it. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I think just briefly on the movie, I thought it was good, fine. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was fun enough, you know.
Yeah.
And I saw it on streaming, so it didn't feel like I was wasting anything or time or money going into this place.
No,
like a movie theater, but
yeah.
I enjoyed it enough. There's a sequel announced.
Yeah.
So I'll probably see that.
Nice little stinger at the end for...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone should stick around. I mean, it's not like the end credit scene. It's like actually at the end. But there's
Literally
a little Easter
movie.
egg that's very nice.
Yeah. I thought that I don't think it was necessarily scary at all.
Yeah, no, I don't think they leaned so far into the horror of like jump scares as much. Because, I mean, I think they knew what they were creating. And the truth was that, like, there's nothing overly terrifying about the appearance of M3gan. But that's what makes it so crazy, is, like, when the stuff happens, you're just like, oh, my brain never would have painted this picture, so it's just weird watching it, because it's like, it's like a fake 7-year-old girl, you know, killing people.
Yeah.
So it's just like weird.
I didn't think anything was done particularly amazing or poorly.
Yeah.
And so, like, for me, it's like, that was good. Yeah, I liked it.
I think, without spoiling anything, there were a few times where there was kind of like just a few plot decisions where, kind of stereotypically in horror movies, you're like, hey, character, don't do the thing that would obviously be stupid.
Sure.
And then they, like, do.
Yeah.
There's, like, a particular scene where there's, like, hey, can we take Megan with us to this place?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we still have some issues with Megan. We don't know if that's like even safe yet. But yeah, let's do it. Like just like stuff like that, where it's like, oh no, you just had to figure out a way to get Megan to X so she could do Y, and that were kind of like weak for me. But I'm also like,
it's a horror movie.
How much am I going to criticize a movie about? And I'm not saying like that it should get a free pass because of its source material, but it was just kind of like, For you trying so hard in certain areas, it kind of sucks when sometimes the plot feels like it was written into a corner where you're just like, and then Megan had to kind of get here.
Yeah,
but whatever.
I get that.
It's just kind of tedious little nitpicks.
Yeah, I understand that, and I feel that comes with the territory, which is weird to say because we shouldn't give it that as as brushing it over and be like,
Correct.
oh, it's a horror movie.
It's not a free pass.
Yeah, it's not a free pass. But I'm like, you know what? I think they did it well enough for me to be like, sure.
Yeah, I think there's certain things where like, I mean, I'm gonna keep going back to Violent Night, but like when we watch that movie, it could technically get away with how stupid maybe the villain was because it tied into the overall theme of the movie.
Yes.
And so, like, it's not that he was a bad actor or that was a poorly written character. It's that they needed a guy who hated Christmas. And so it was kind of over the top why he hated Christmas. In any other movie, if that character is just in your plot hating Christmas,
that's the point.
Doesn't fit. Like it doesn't fit in that movie. Yeah. But in this movie, it does. So I do think that there are levels to that you can take, like in this type of movie, where it's like, hey, when the source material is this AI thing that needs a reason to do what it's going to do, they have to get it there. So anyway.
And Violent Night's a good comparison because I felt like everything made sense in that movie, which is ridiculous. Like it is a Santa Claus murdering people, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like the whole him being there and why he has to stay and like how he kind of gets wrapped up in the whole situation and the villain and everything, where I'm like, oh, that makes sense in the world of this movie.
Correct.
Where with M3gan, it's like M3gan. It's like, oh, you guys kind of wrote this in an afternoon, and I'm not trying to bash the writers. And one of the writers actually made the Malignant movie.
Yeah, I mean, this was a Blumhouse production. Yeah. Like, these guys are not messing around anymore. Blumhouse has kind of proven that they can make their stuff.
Yeah, but they did want a cheap movie, and they kind of made it out there.
Yeah.
But, like, with Malignant, I found that a much better movie for me. Did you ever watch it?
I never saw that.
Okay. You should watch it.
Oh, yeah.
It's on HBO Max.
Spooky.
Yeah, it's spookier, and it just goes somewhere, and I'm like, I like this. So,
dang.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
And like it kind of has that feel. I just feel like M3gan, like, hey, cool, it had an AI, and I'm like, that's about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, you said maybe 30 minutes ago before this podcast started that you think you found the next Werewolves Within. Is that true of this?
No.
Okay.
I just like to keep you on your toes because, Michael, if you ever predict what I'm going to say, it's going to be a boring-ass podcast, all right? I need to keep you on your toes, keep you lively. I also like making you sweat a little bit.
Oh, I'm so
because you are a worrier when it comes to this podcast because you're just like, I don't know what Nick's going to say. He's going to maybe say it's a 10 out of 10, and I love just having a little bit of control over that.
You just love to make me squirm.
Yeah, I'm a villain.
Anyways, you're the villain of this podcast.
It looks like I'm the problem. It's me.
Hello. You know what villains do? They score movies on a podcast. So
they do typically do that. All right. So M3gan, I'm gonna say is not a 3 out of 10, but I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10.
Great.
Just above Ant-Man Quantumania.
This is the best movie we've seen this year, you think?
Oh, wait. Was Ant-Man the first movie we saw this year? No way.
Because Avatar was technically last year.
Son of a gun.
Is it better than Avatar?
So M3gan is by far the best movie we've seen new this year.
Including Avatar? Is this movie better than Avatar?
What did I give Avatar?
I don't know, probably like a 5.
I think I gave it like a 6.
Oh, really? I remember I gave it a 6.
I mean, you got 13 years of CGI. We got to respect that. Besides that, it has nothing. But yeah, M3gan gets a 5.5 from me.
Wow. I'm giving M3gan a M3gan out of 10 if you take away all the letters.
Wow.
And times it by 2.
Oh, nice. Okay. I was like, no way. You're like, I thought it was fine. 3 out of 10, just utter trash.
No, I actually would give it a M3gan out of 10, take away the letters, times it by 2, and minus 0.5. So I give it a 5.5.
You got okay, whatever. You're insane.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think it's just better than average.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I could have gone my whole life without watching this movie.
Oh, this is by no means a necessary film.
Mm-hmm.
You will not be seeing this on our IMDb Top 250.
No.
And by IMDb, I mean Not Us United Top 250.
The NUS 250.
Wait. It's the new.
Wait.
And
oh
new,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, I don't know where
new,
I got the
baby. Where are new news at?
Hey.
I think we did it. We finally have a thing that we can call our audience.
You
the
guys
new
are the
news.
new news. I don't know if that's gonna stick. Adam,
All I can think of
Adam,
is,
what do you think of new news?
all I can think of is Michael B. Jordan's like, "How you like my new?" Because doesn't he say that in
No, not Michael B. Jordan. Jamie Foxx. How do you like my new?
Oh, that's right, Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx and how you like the new?
That was a quote that Nick could not stop saying
Yeah.
for at least a month or 2.
Yo, how you like the new? Oh, dude, we can say that like, yo, how you
like the new podcast.
How you like this new news?
Hey, yo, new news, get this in your ear sockets.
New news, what's up? Like and subscribe, baby. Much love.
If you're a real new, you know where the new at.
That's right. That's right. If we had a Patreon, we'd be begging the new news to get us on the Patreon.
Yeah, give us your sweet new dollars.
New dollars.
New nucks.
Oh, we figured it out. It had to be for M3gan. It had to be, dude. It had to be during this movie. It's perfect. It's perfect. All right, let's dive into some spoilers.
Yeah. News, give us your thought of M3gan's spoilers.
Oh, we are so bad.
Send us Not Us United pod@gmail.com and tag new thoughts.
The worst part of it is like
it kind of works.
It's kind of probably what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah, our shirts are just gonna be like #1 new.
Oh, #1 new. Yeah.
God bless you guys. We love all of our new news. Anyway, spoilers. There's not very many scenes that I really want to jump into. I think we've established that no one needs to watch this movie, so I don't know how much longer we should talk about it. But I think some honorable mentions would be the scene of our unlucky little boy kill.
Yeah.
That one needs to be. Did
that
you watch the
shocking.
unrated?
Oh
version?
yeah, what was unrated about this?
I have no idea. I'm guessing some of the kills were a little more like drawn out.
But it's still PG-13.
On Peacock, it's unrated.
On Peacock, it said PG-13.
Oh well, I watched the unrated one, so I'm curious on what was different. How much did you see when the little boy?
He got ran over by a car.
Did she rip his ears off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we see everything.
Yeah.
But like. They extended that scene.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, dang. And then the part where she's like,
ears.
this is the part where you run. You're just like, M3gan, no. And then she gets on all fours and starts hobbling after him. Dude, classic.
I thought that was probably the best scene.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, the dancing scene with the paper cutter, come on. What?
It was such a big deal in like the trailer.
It didn't make any sense.
Like, why was she dancing?
I think she's just like, I literally can do whatever I want, and I'm gonna kill you.
I like that she grabbed the paper cutter and then.
She's like, "Hey, what's up?
How you like my new?
How you like my new? And then, let's see. Oh god.
The neighbor subplot line was okay.
Yeah, it was fine. Meh.
I don't like that she killed the dog.
It was a little too set up. It was like, get that hole out of the fence. Quit pouring chemicals all over.
Seriously.
Like, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Like,
I was like, here's check off everything.
The cop just being like, yeah, there's just nothing we can do. And it's like, there's a girl with, like, definitely a really bitten arm from a dog. I'm pretty sure legally you can do something.
Yeah.
I don't know what the cop was like, sorry. It's like, dude, her arm could be, like, amputated for that.
The line they said was, he was provoked.
Oh, yeah, the dog was provoked?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So, I guess you can get around that. And it was technically on her.
Sure, yeah.
I'm sure there's some
It was
legal
wild, though. It's just like,
loophole.
dang.
Yeah, it's like, I got attacked by a dog. Yeah, but no.
But did you, like, get close to him? It's like, well, yeah, he bit me. Whatever.
What do you think of the progression of M3gan? Like, you're like,
yeah,
makes sense, or
I was surprised at some of her programming was just like very, like, there's that scene that they're doing the sales pitch for M3gan to be mass produced, and it actually works because, like, even though M3gan's kind of like off a rocker at this point, I think she might have already killed the dog. She, like, does an incredible job at, like, I'm gonna listen to you, and then you just shared a beautiful memory with me. I recorded it, and it'll be here forever. And you're just like, dang, that actually seems like that could be helpful. Like, that's kind of like
it's all
cool...
manipulative. You know?
Sure,
yeah.
But, like, I don't know if she was, like, maliciously like, I want to kill, give me a reason to kill.
No, I think how I viewed that scene was she just wanted to be better than the aunt, the Gwen or whatever, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
So she's
like, here's
I'm a
all
better
the features
than
that
you.
I have that she doesn't.
Yes,
I see what you're saying.
That's what I saw the scene as.
And it just makes sense that the, like, Katie would, like, freak out at, like, the fact that she would lose something that was given to her, like, in the moment she was her, like, weakest, you know? I thought that was, like, really well done. Because, I mean, she's losing her crap, but it's like kids lose their crap if they, like, don't get their way. And so, like, I thought that was
a pretty good scene as well.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed, like, I was like, whoa. And like, I like the reactions of all the higher ups being like, because what do you do when a kid's crying and it's like, my parents died in a car crash? I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so it's like M3gan just kind of taking it from them is like this weird moment where, like, everyone's like, oh shit, we don't have to, like, even try anymore. We're gonna sell so many of these. You know, it's like a sad, like, truth of like, if there was, like, a competitive price, this could probably be a thing that, like, actually works. And that's where it kind of goes back to your original, you know, topic of conversation of like, oh no, this would actually be, like, overall worse, but the short-term gain that everyone would see is like, holy cow, I could just, like, kind of, like, have a day off from like being with my kid, which in and of itself isn't, like, wrong, but when it becomes like a drug where it's like I don't ever have to do half of the parenting stuff that I don't want to do. It's like the old Adam Sandler movie Click, where he has the remote control. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to fast forward through when my kids are being annoying.
You
I
mean
want to
About Time But Better? Got it.
Oh. Whoo. You're gonna have to excuse me, new news. I'm about to light Michael up.
You want to dance? Want to see my dance moves?
Let's dance, Gemma. No. He ends up, like, realizing that he's fast forwarding through, like, 80% of his day, and then it, like, auto, like, does it. It's like, hey, we'll just get rid of all the annoying stuff. And then you realize, like, you would only have, like, 2 or 3 core memories of, like, every day. That's not worth it, you know? And so I think the fact that this movie even tried to tackle it is just, like, merit and, hey, good on you, because I think you're kind of touching on the pulse of, like, where this could go fast if it was mishandled. Because it's not going to be sold to you as something that's mishandled. It's going to be like, this is helpful.
The best thing you could ever do.
Helpful.
Yeah.
A butler. That's all it is. No, it's going to replace some things that, like, you selfishly don't want to do, but it's another touch point where you get to interact and, like, learn and do a core, like memory with your child, you know? And so I'm actually kind of glad I get to be, like, a dad looking into this, because it's like, oh, this is convicting. This is convicting, because there are days when I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love you, but it would be awesome if I could have like 2 hours to myself right now, you know? And you don't get that option. So I could see where people would just push the red button and be like, take over. But it's like, once you unleash the genie, how do you get it back in the bottle?
Yeah.
And I think that's, like I said, ties back to what you said.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can see the product as like, oh my gosh, how much time did I get back? But like, at what time does that become unproductive? To be like, Correct. You're missing moments of your child's life because 50% of the time, it's with this robot.
And then when they don't listen to you because they've purposely spent most of their development lately with this thing, you can't get angry when you're like, hey, I'm playing my parent card now. It's like, well, but you didn't play your parent card for the last 6 days because you let this thing take your parent card. You can't just take it back now. So like, I thought it had some interesting commentary that I thought was good.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that. What'd you think of like the whole, I'm a businessman and I'm gonna get stabbed in an elevator guy?
I really liked him in everything else that he's done.
Yeah, he was in Crazy Rich
I mean,
Asians.
I think he was fine here.
Yeah.
And I think that's like correct. I mean, I think maybe he's a little over the top, but maybe that's truly what like a CEO would act like.
I don't. Fine, yeah.
I mean, it's fine, but no, there isn't any like performance apart from like Katie that I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever like was the body.
Yeah, there were two people who were.
One was like the singer,
yeah,
voice, and then the other was like the physical
moving,
of
And
Megan.
Did she like wear a mask or something, or is that CG? Do you know?
I don't know for sure, but maybe the mocap or something. Like maybe she could like act all fine, but like just they put a. And I thought like Megan
did look good.
Good, like because it was
because it's not necessarily supposed to look good. And I thought it kind of went to that uncanny valley that
it looked
worked.
more like the movements and everything. So like I don't know if that is the actress.
Yeah, I would.
But
think
like
so.
if it was, she did a really good job of like having to do like hard turns. Like it was never smooth.
Yeah,
it was always like she would tilt to be like I'm a little more personal, but like you knew it was like too perfect of a movement to make it. So no, M3gan was dope. I was a little underwhelmed by the final encounter.
Yeah.
I know they introduced like the old robot and all that stuff, but it just felt a little weird to be like, all right, it's Rock'em Sock'em Robots now all of a sudden, but at the same time, like, how do you stop this robot? You know, like it was.
Yeah.
It just kind of felt like.
I thought it was good. This was fine.
I mean, I get that that's kind of the way to defeat her or whatever, but I would have liked maybe something a little more like
Chucky.
Yeah, or just like the two of them had to work a little together more, so they like bonded over it, because it was kind of like, hey, this thing that I love is finally hurting this person I'm supposed to love, so I guess I'm gonna kill the thing I love now. I would have liked them to, like, the aunt and the niece to have bonded a little bit more, so that, like, now that they're going to live together and
they kind of bond, like on the drive, like there was something.
Yeah, I just think like together, if they would have killed Megan, it would have made it a little more like bam. But it was just kind of like, all right, I now all of a sudden know how to use this robot that there was never a scene setting up me using the robot.
Yeah, fair.
So it was just kind of like weird.
Yeah.
So it just didn't quite fit for a movie that like could have spent time like kind of building that up to maybe a little bit better. But all that said, Megan's still like uploading Ultron style into the Alexa like style home device of like, hey, the smart home device just turned on right after you killed Megan.
Yeah.
Now she can maybe like lock you inside.
Well, it sounded like yeah. Well, okay. So for that point, there was a point where her like whatever her Alexa talks to her, and I assumed that was Megan before all of this. There was a point where like, what was it? It was like, oh, the Alexa asked, oh, you're not supposed to ask me how I feel.
Oh.
And I thought that was already Megan infiltrating. Like she was already in there.
And at one point, Megan's like. She said let go and the lights started flickering.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that she's kind of
like
already integrated with the home.
And then also like when her like coworkers have her locked up, she's like in the system and in
You're
the
right.
person's
You're
phone.
right. Yeah.
So like I assumed she was kind of like in
traveling
something
somehow.
else.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was so naive about it that I was like, oh wait, why are they focusing on the home? And then it
Oh
goes,
yeah.
"Ooh," and
No,
you're
I was like,
"Oh,
dude, I was
shoot."
like 3 Megans ahead of you, man.
Dang, you were like M3gan ahead of me.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow. You know your stuff.
Yeah.
Will I be seeing Megan's sequel?
It's I would tell. Wait, hold on.
100%.
Oh, okay. I was gonna tell you the name.
What is it?
It's M3gan 2.0.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a whole house. She's gonna be walking around.
Watch me dance in my house.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, these are silly movies.
Oh, don't think I'll go to the theaters.
Yeah, but you'll come over,
We'll watch
a couple bevies with the boy.
Well, bevies with the Mevies.
Come on.
With the Meggies.
With the new news, you know?
New-news and some Meggies.
Maybe we'll have a new here to do the sequel to M3gan.
Yeah. What, M3gan of us?
M3gan new news.
At what point do we stop using real words?
This is it, man. We've entered it. This is what the internet
I feel like
was for.
this is already like a lot of our conversations between each other. 50% of it is just like an inside joke. So I say something dumb that I've been repeating, saying that over and over again, and I think it's finally gotten to the point where it's become it's on the podcast now.
It is.
Yeah.
We've uploaded. We're
Whoa.
Not Us United 2.0.
Oh, put us in theaters, baby.
I think that's it.
I have nothing else to say about this movie.
Perfect.
I'll probably forget about it.
Yeah. Until the sequel comes out, and then we're gonna go see it. Midnight show.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow.
Really? That would make sense, honestly.
Because they made Chat GPT write it. That'd be nuts, wouldn't it?
I appreciate your commentary on
Yeah.
all things
Thanks.
conspiracy.
Okay.
I don't think you're very far off at all on what your thoughts are, because I'm nervous as well.
Oh,
But
that's encouraging.
I do think, like I said, my hope is that there will always be a pendulum swing back. I think
Yeah.
when we go a little too far, it makes everyone go, wait, what the hell are we doing again? And then it kind of comes back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So just ride the storm out, baby.
Ride the storm.
All right.
Well, this has been Not Us United. And you know what you new news can do is subscribe to Not Us United.
That's right.
Like us on... Are we on Facebook?
We are on Facebook.
Okay. Hey,
yeah.
Facebook and Instagram.
We're
and
on Facebook. I handle all of the M3gan uploads.
You are M3gan. Whoa. Oh, he tilted his head. It was weird. You did it really well.
Hi, Michael. Are you ready to do a podcast with me?
You want a podcast with me? Well, you probably have heard of a review of Megan. We haven't heard a review of Megan from two new news in a basement making the stupidest jokes you've ever heard. Not Us United.
There it is. Yes, you didn't end it with us, and then you couldn't say Not Us United. I love it, dude. You're insane. I'm so glad I get to do a podcast with you.
Thank you.
All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.
You've just listened to Not Us United. You can find us under Not Us United on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Please leave us a review and consider subscribing to our podcast. You can reach out for future podcast topic suggestions at notusunitedpod@gmail.com.